Guy's walking home through the park, sees a man sitting on the bench, hoodie up. No big deal, but every time he takes a step, the man tilts his head the same way. He speeds up. The man's head just keeps turning, all the way backwards. When he sees back, there's no one. Suddenly, he appears right in front of him, with a jigsaw.
Guy's drunk, heads home, apartment 3B, doors unlocked. He stumbles in, crashes on the couch. Middle of the night, he wakes up to a family of 3 staring at him from the kitchen. They tied him into wood just like a ritual. Suddenly, he wakes up in the same couch, but this time he sees his family are still stuck. Follow for part 2. Every town has that one building everyone avoids. But ours? It's not abandoned. It's active, and no one's allowed inside. My friend Liam worked night shifts nearby. Last week, he texted me, "Bro, I swear I heard screaming from that place. If I disappear, check my camera roll." The next day, he vanished. I opened his phone. The last video was shaky, like he was running. In the footage, men in lab coats dragged someone down a hallway. A voice whispered off camera, "They know you're recording." Then the screen went black. Now Liam's phone is gone. And last night, I got a text from his number. "You're next." She flips her bathroom switch. Light flickers, and for half a second, there's someone standing in the tub. When the bulb steadies, the tub's empty. Now the dark figure standing right behind her, turning the lights off.
She's cleaning her grandma's house, finds a photo from the funeral. Her grandma's eyes are open in it. She flips the page. Grandma's smiling, standing behind her. A hand touches her shoulder. She turns. No one there. Then from the shadows, a black figure grabs her neck. The album falls open to her own photo. This is a true story. In the 1980s, entire neighborhoods reported hearing the same sound at night, heavy footsteps on their rooftops. Witnesses swore they saw a tall figure moving from house to house. No one could describe its face, only the way it lingered. Listening, police dismissed it as paranoia. Newspapers refused to cover it. But within weeks, families started disappearing. Inside the empty homes, plates of food were left untouched. Lights still on, doors unlocked. But no trace of the people who lived there. Leaked reports later claimed the government investigated. Files described identical cases across 3 states. Then suddenly, the documents were sealed. Survivors said the last thing they heard was a slow dragging sound, as if something heavy was climbing inside. To this day, the houses remain abandoned. And on quiet nights, neighbors swear they still hear footsteps. Guy comes home late. Keys hit the table. From upstairs, he hears his mom's voice. "Honey, can you help me?" But his mom's been in the hospital for a week. He grabs his phone, and he gets a text from his mom. They won't coming tonight, too. Suddenly, the voice came behind him and grabs his neck. This is a true story. In the late 1960s, small towns reported black helicopters flying overhead, with no markings, no sound, and no pilots ever seen. Residents swore the helicopters hovered above their homes at night, shining strange beams of light through windows. Officials claimed it was military training, but Air Force records from those nights showed nothing in the sky. People reported missing livestock. Pets vanished. In some towns, entire families packed up and left overnight, never returning. Declassified files years later revealed hundreds of identical reports across different states, all quietly dismissed. Witnesses described the helicopters as moving too slow, almost gliding, with windows that seemed to watch back. To this day, no one knows where they came from. But on moonless nights, people still hear the blades. Kid tells his dad, "The man in my closet won't stop smiling." Dad checks. Closet's empty. Later that night, he hears vigorous sound coming from his son's room, but his son is not there. A big creepy skinwalker was standing in his bed. In 1994, hikers vanished in the Appalachians, leaving only their backpacks behind. Teams found their tents torn open, gear scattered, but no footprints. Cameras recovered from the site showed blurry figures watching from the trees. The figures were tall, thin, impossibly fast, and their faces too pale, too smooth, like masks. Camera captured a figure leaning over a fallen hiker, staring straight at the lens. Hikers vanish there. Some swear the forest itself is alive. In 1977, an entire town reported the same nightmare on the same night. People woke screaming, describing tall, shadowy figures standing at the foot of their beds. Doctors called it mass sleep paralysis, but police logs recorded dozens of frantic calls at the exact same hour. Some families swore their loved ones never woke up, their bodies left frozen, eyes wide open. Hidden files revealed identical cases in towns hundreds of miles apart, always on the same dates. Witnesses claimed the shadows weren't dreams at all. They were visitors. And to this day, no one sleeps peacefully there. Because every midnight, the shadows return. In 1985, a quiet suburb saw glowing figures walking the streets at night. They moved silently, upright, bodies shimmering like liquid light. Police approached, but each figure vanished. No footprints, no trace. Pets disappeared. Street cameras captured only brief flickers of color. Sightings always happened near new power line installations. One stopped in front of a house, raising a hand, pointing at the window. No one knows what they wanted or why they returned. Every night she hears her neighbor's TV blasting. Laugh tracks, screaming, weird shows. She bangs on the wall, no answer. Finally, she asks the landlord. He looks confused. Nobody's lived next door in 10 years. In 1963, drivers on a rural highway reported the same thing. A woman in white standing alone by the road. Every time someone stopped, she was gone. But in their mirrors, she was sitting in the back seat. Police dismissed it as superstition until an officer's dashcam caught her reflection. Files show the same woman described across 3 states, decades apart. And to this day, late-night drivers swear she still waits on the roadside. In 1991, students at a rural high school said they kept hearing the same thing, whispers coming from the intercom. Even when the system was off, voices repeated their names, in perfect monotone. Teachers blamed faulty wiring. But maintenance records showed the intercom had been disconnected for years. Some students went missing. Their names were later whispered through the speakers, one by one. To this day, locals swear the school is abandoned, but at night, the intercom still clicks on. In 1994, a small town reported strange phone calls, always at exactly 3:03 a.m. Locals said when they answered, all they heard was heavy breathing and their own voice repeating back. Phone companies swore the lines were clear, no glitches, no trace of calls ever made. Families began unplugging their phones, but the ringing never stopped. Hidden reports showed dozens of identical cases across neighboring towns. Same time, same breathing, same voices. Some claimed if you listened too long, the voice started saying things you'd never spoken. To this day, at 3:03 a.m., phones still ring in that town. She buys a latte. Barista smiles, writes her name on the cup. Later, she looks at the receipt. Printed at the bottom, enjoy your last day. Do you still prank your friends after this? They thought it'd be hilarious. They hired a clown to scare their buddy. The clown jumped out screaming, honking a red nose. Confetti flew everywhere. Everyone laughed, except him. Suddenly, he clutched his chest, gasping. The laughter turned to panic. No one could save him. The prank had gone too far. He died before anyone could react. In 1983, an entire apartment building in Chicago was found empty overnight. Dinner plates still warm. TVS still on. Doors left wide open. Police claimed it was a gas leak. But no bodies, no signs of escape. Neighbors swore they heard knocking from inside the empty rooms for weeks after. Old city records show similar vanishings in other buildings, always written off as accidents. And to this day, tenants say if you press your ear to the walls, you can still hear whispers